Hi, I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Guys, today I want to flip-flap back to Oracle cards, and I've got a bit of a gripe with Oracle cards. And you know, I'm not a huge fan of Oracle cards. I generally just buy them because of the beautiful artwork. I do use them every now and again, but to me, I'm a tarot man, I'm a Lenormand guy, and I'd really rather spend money on those things than on, say, Oracle cards. But I do have a lot of Oracle cards, and it's generally because I love the artwork. However, one thing about certain Oracle cards that just grinds my fucking balls is when you have an Oracle card that either has no writing on it, whether on the front or on the back, or it literally just has like a number or a word at the bottom. Okay, I find that a little bit of a cheat because it means that you have to constantly refer back to the book unless you sit and focus on that one deck that you have and only use that deck and actually learn that deck inside out. I'm too hepped up on the actual pictures to now go and actually do that, you know. So I want to show you something. Okay, this is the most beautiful deck. It's called the Oracle of Mystical Moments by Katrin Weiss Stein. I think that's how you pronounce it. But I want to show you, it's gorgeous. I've done reviews on these decks, so you can go and have a look for the reviews. But let me show you what I've got here. Okay, so the first one is, they're not in any order, but I want to show you the pictures, and then I want to show you what, you're going to see what I mean. So the first card I've got is the Sea Witch. Beautiful artwork. But what is a Sea Witch? If I'm looking at this card, you've come to me for a reading, I would have to really interpret this card in my own way. Okay, so it's the Sea Witch, whatever. Here you've got, I mean, look at this artwork, it's gorgeous, but it's my dear friend. Like, what the actual? I've got another one. Here, what does this mean? Lullaby. What does it mean? You're going to sleep for 1,000 years? Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, it's beautiful. This deck is absolutely exquisite, but it has no writing on it. So, like, what must I do? How do I interpret this? You're going to say, Matt, you interpret it the way you want to interpret it. It is your interpretation that is of vital importance here. You take the cards, you look at them, you interpret them. All good and well, but have a look at this. This is the Sancta Muerte Oracle. I know you get a tarot deck like this, but I got the Oracle for various reasons. I just want to show you one or two cards. Now, this is different. This doesn't even have a word on it, so there's nothing to play with here. It has the picture, big picture, and then at the bottom here, it's got a little skull with a number 17 on it. Okay? There's a whole history behind what Sancta Muerte is and how you would use these cards and blah, blah, blah. On the back, if you lay all the cards out, there's a Ouija board that appears. But what do I do with this? What do I do with this? What is that? Now you're going to say to me again, okay, Matt, but this is a very specific kind of oracle deck. It would not be used for anybody. It would be used on certain days, blah, blah. Now, can I ask you something? If you have these highly interpretive decks, why do they give you a book of meanings? Why are these decks, if they're so interpretive and you have to be so intuitive to get any actual meaning out of them, why do they have booklets prescribing what each card is? If you're going to make a highly interpretive deck with no writing or no actual writing that makes sense, what is the point of then doing a book? Because obviously your aim as a deck creator of these highly intuitive decks would be to allow the reader to intuit. Does that make sense? Maybe I'm not seeing this in the correct sense. Maybe I'm seeing this too technically or perhaps not creative enough, or maybe I'm interpreting this too creatively. But to my mind, for me to spend a lot of money, and let's face it, guys, no matter where you live in the world, tarot decks Oracle decks and Lenormand decks are pretty expensive unless you buy like cheapy secondhand stuff that looks like your great-grandmother used to use it. But the expense that you spend, the money that you spend on a tarot deck or an Oracle deck, it's a lot of money. Now, I don't want to go and spend money, like a lot of money, on an Oracle deck that I have to do all the work. Okay, if I'm going to do that, then don't give me a booklet. Allow me to do all the work. Put the picture and then allow me to interpret it. Don't expect me to interpret just the picture and then you go and give me the answer or the meaning in a book. To my mind, that's pretty pointless. It's kind of like redundant. You know, you want me to interpret. The picture is 100% interpretive. It needs to be interpreted 100%. But then you go and give me a meaning. I'm not too sure if, as I say, if I'm being too harsh on the creators. What do you guys think? Have you got any of these I call them blank cards, okay? Now, having said that, with a tarot deck, you can do this. You can, in fact, I've got many of my that side, many of my tarot decks, I've actually cut all the borders off, and sometimes the borders actually have what the tarot deck, like what that tarot card is. It could be like the 10 of clubs or whatever, of wands. But that's fine because we have a structure with tarot, a very strict structure that we work within. It is a very structured thing to do. We learn the rules and regulations. Tarot does have rules and regulations. I don't care what anybody says. You cannot convince me otherwise. So does Lenormand. However, you can, because of the rules and regulations and the structure of a tarot deck and a Lenormand deck, you can cut all the names and the writing off them. As I say, I've got many decks here that literally are just a picture. But I know it's the 10 of Swords because I can see, okay? So I don't need it to tell me it's the 10 of Swords. I work within my structure. Some very, very modern tarot decks and Lenormand decks don't have that. They are slightly more obscure, where the picture doesn't always match. But still, you can get away with that nameless card in tarot and in Lenormand. You can't really get away with it in Oracle, you know, or let us say that you can, but it's unfair. I find it very unfair on me as a reader to have to do, and I always say this, to do all the work, you know, or if I'm given a card that says, you know, peas in the garden, or, you know, if I'm given an Oracle card that says prosperity, I can then kind of interpret it. Or if I get one that says Blue Monday, you know, we kind of have ideas in our head. But if I get a card called The Last Ride with an elephant on it, what the fuck? Like, come on, guys, what the hell does that mean? Okay, so that's my little rant about Oracle call them blank Oracle decks. And how do you feel about this? Do you have any of these decks? Do you agree with these decks? Do you use them a lot? Or do you, like me, feel that they're a bit of a con, a bit of a sort of money-making racket? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, subscribe, like, and if you want to, you can ring the little bell icon and you'll get to know when I'm putting out new videos. Okay, I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot, and I will see you on the flip side. Hi, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to go and like and subscribe, and check out some more of my videos in my playlists.